All right, guys, welcome to the mini episode of Going Postal with Don and Omar. We're just going to start off strong, do a little disclaimer. Anything we say is not endorsed, nor does it reflect the views of the United States Postal Service or the National Association of Letter Carriers. Anything expressed on this episode is strictly the opinions of me and Don. Um, and that's about it. So the phone lines were going crazy when we debuted our first episode. So we just want to jump in and kind of explain some of the vernacular, some of the terminology we use in the post office.
Yeah, we got to remember that not everyone on here is a postal worker. We do have some fans,
Yep.
mostly relatives, but I think there's a few fans out there. No
Yeah.
groupies yet. No
No,
groupies yet.
no, I don't think we can afford those, to be honest. We both got two kids,
No,
and
definitely can't.
diapers are really expensive right now.
Dude, definitely can't. And as you see the raise in the contract,
Yeah.
not able to afford many more diapers.
No, definitely not. So, yeah, I think we can start off just like what kind of carriers there are, and there's the different like as you're starting off in your career,
Mhm.
there's two different options, I guess. Some offices hire CCAs and some hire people as PTFs. So I don't know if you want to explain what CCAs are, because I know we both started off as CCAs.
Yeah, okay.
This
So
position
pretty
in the
much when you first get hired, you get brought on as a CCA, which is called a city carrier assistant. And pretty much what that means is you are bottom of the barrel. Like
yeah.
there's bottom and you're below the barrel.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
pretty
you,
much
yeah, pretty much. And then I'll kind of explain PTF, and then you can kind of give us a little, give us your, because you went from regular to
two
PTF.
PTF. I took a little demotion when I got
Yeah.
not like a bad demotion. It was like a
Right. It was just to get out of the area you were in,
yeah.
essentially. Yeah, but so a PTF is a part-time flex. It's pretty much a CCA, but you have all the rights as a regular carrier. So you have your 401k, you get your vacation time, I believe, is accrued. Same
Yep.
with your sick leave is accrued. Um,
Health
and
insurance.
you,
You get all the
yeah,
health insurance.
I'm not sure if you're guaranteed 40 hours. I don't think
You're
so.
okay, you're guaranteed I think it's 20 hours a week,
Okay.
but I think if they schedule you in, they have to give you at least 6 hours of work. Whereas CCA, you're 4 hours.
Right. I think it depends how big of an office you are too, because I think
Hmm.
some smaller offices, if you're a CCA, it's you only guaranteed 2 hours if they call you and they don't have the
Hmm.
work. I could be wrong, but yeah,
That being said,
PTF.
guys, they're gonna have the work for you.
Yeah. Especially
I've never
now.
gone home early, maybe like an hour early, like but never early.
Yeah, but as a PTF, if you have CCAs in your office, you're already above them just because of your standing.
Yeah,
So
now
you're
you're at the bottom of the barrel. You're not the bottom, but you're now you're
you're
at the bottom.
just above the CCA. So you're
Yeah.
like you got some. You can definitely kind of push some weight around. But how was your experience as like a PTF? Because I know you still have to work Sundays, which kind
Same
of
exact as a CCA. I got benefits. It
right.
sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. That's
Yeah,
I
the Sundays was not fun. There was like 3 months in a row I worked every Sunday.
I was gonna ask because they actually offered me because I want to get into another office, and they told me I would have to resign and then start
Hmm.
as a PTF in the office I'd like to be. You didn't resign, right?
No, I didn't. They just brought me.
You just transferred in as a PTF. Did your
Yeah,
pay stay the same? You don't got to tell me
I stayed
number.
the same. I stayed at the same step. So technically,
Okay,
my pay went up because the PTFs get paid more than the regular.
because they don't get paid for holidays, correct?
Yes, that's true. You don't get holiday pay
You don't get holidays.
unless you work the holiday.
Right. And again, that could all be changed now because of our
Yeah,
new
I
contract.
don't know. I haven't read it. I don't think
Yeah,
Renfro's read it either. But hey,
and you
so
too. Yeah. Yeah, you've been reading the label of Jack Daniels, allegedly.
allegedly, guys,
Yeah. Yeah. So
you have
that's
no
a
official
CCA.
opinions.
Yeah.
No,
So that's CCAs and PTFs. After that, we can kind of. So this is letter carriers. So city carriers are next, but we also have our rural side, and they have their like CCAs,
yep.
but they're called RCAs, and we
RCA's.
have ARCs, which are ARCs. So I know the RCA's are basically the same thing as a CCA, but you're on the rural side.
Yeah.
Don't know how their pay and stuff
Dude,
works.
not gonna lie to you guys. I do not know much about the rural
Yeah,
side at all. Apparently, you
we
get paid based on like the length of your route too. Like
right.
not e the volume too has a lot to do with it.
Volumes of stops. But the only good thing about that, I would love to do that because like it's basically I think it's like 48 Ks and 44 Ks is what their routes are called.
Hmm.
And then you get whatever time you finish, you're still
You're
getting
gone.
paid.
Yeah, you can leave.
You finish at like,
One
start at
o'clock. See
7,
ya.
boom, yeah, you're getting paid the full day for whatever however like your route is whatever
Yeah.
time is for that. So
Yeah,
that's
I don't know a thing about their pay, guys.
no.
We're gonna get a rural carrier on here. Don't worry.
Yeah, I got two, but they're an odd bunch. I mean, we're weird, but they're a bit out there.
They're more like I don't know, like they don't have to wear uniforms, which is weird too.
Yeah.
Like you see somebody in straight up clothes, like driving
Right.
around the mail truck. You're like, who'd you rob? Like,
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing with CCAs. You don't get your uniform. I
yeah.
think it's like 90 working days or 120 calendar days, but even then it just takes time to get like your allotment, the money for
Hmm.
the uniforms and the prices are insane for that too.
Oh my God, yeah.
But yeah, we'll go into city carriers. So there's two different type of city. They're both the same, but city
Two
carriers, you have the
tables,
one,
yeah.
two tables exactly. Yeah, just easy enough. There's one hired prior to January 12th, 2013, and then so those are table one. So if you were hired before January 12th, 2013,
All the
you're on table
oldies.
one. Yep. Everybody else after that is table two. So me and
That's
Don,
us.
table
Yes,
two.
we got questioned about that from one of the fans.
Yeah, one of our subscribers.
One
I
of our
hope you subscribe.
subscribers, one of our
um,
subscribers actually DM'd me, was like, "Hey, what's
yeah.
a table two carrier? Like, help me out with that."
And again, that's our bad. That was our first time. We
Yeah.
didn't edit anything. We uploaded, as you could tell.
Hmm.
Maybe the same with this mini episode too. Who knows?
Yeah, so
Uh,
pretty much the only difference really is so table one, table two, when you're in table one, they started off at a higher rate.
yeah, I think it's a five
And
thousand dollar difference
I think it
each
is like
step
a $5,000 difference
until you get to the top.
until you get to the top. And then once you get to the top of both tables, it's the same pay. But the
Right.
difference is I think the raises are different durations. Like table two, it's every 46 weeks. Table
Right.
one, I think it's depending on the step.
Oh, it changed. It was different.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like I
I
think
didn't.
some of them it's like 40 weeks, some of them it's like 50. I could be wrong. Like I said, we're
Right.
gonna get a table one carrier in here too.
Yeah. We're gonna have lots of guests
Yeah.
because we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about real quick. Yeah, but it takes 13.3 years to
Yeah.
get the top of the pay scale,
Yep.
which a lot of people were upset about, especially with this new contract, because UPS, it takes them 5 years to get to
It's
the
a little
top,
ridiculous. The
and they
majority of
make a lot more.
I know somebody who works for the New York state government up in New York, obviously. It
Right.
takes them 6 years to get to the top of the pay scale there,
Right.
which is like
Yeah.
insane.
And it's crazy too, because we're like, again, UPS, FedEx, I have no beef with them. I'm glad they're getting their money. I don't know about
Mhm.
FedEx so much.
Yeah, I
UPS.
don't think FedEx really.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people don't like FedEx. I don't know what it is about FedEx.
No, you know what the funny thing is too? Okay, like I said, I don't want to throw shade at FedEx.
Sure.
Whenever my parents send me a FedEx overnight down here, it never
Yeah.
gets here the next day. It's always 2 days later. It's never
Jesus.
the next. Up in New York, that thing was there at 6 a.m. the next day. Like the
Right.
FedEx guy would wake me up. Like
Yeah. It could be the South, man.
could
Things
be
a
the
lot
South.
slower down there.
Could, could be the South.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, UPS, I mean, 5 years, that's crazy. I mean, they make a lot more than us. Granted, they do heavier, deal with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but we're federal employees. I mean, we deal with people's checks, medication. I mean, that's
Hmm.
not like, I feel like we should be paid in relation to what we have to do. The federal background checks we have to go through, all that stuff. I mean, now
No,
I
no more
think
drug test.
there's no, yeah.
No
So
more
yeah,
drug-
you got,
I laughed so hard when I heard that. The guy was like, "Yeah, there's no more drug tests." I was like, "What?
I don't think there's any type of test.
There's not even a written test anymore?"
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I
Guys,
could
just to
be
let you
mistaken.
know, you used to have to take a written test.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember when I first started, it was like, oh man, this is I'm set for life. It's just the post office. And now it's like, ah, man, that UPS job should have. I think I picked the wrong
Yeah, those
place for.
guys got to hustle though. There's no like I'm going home. Like,
Oh yeah,
and also,
dude. Yeah,
and
but
it's
they
like
also go ahead.
if they like text you on your scanner, like, hey, you have to go help this person. There's no like, no, I'm not doing that. It's like you're
Right.
going to help that person.
Well,
And
I
they're
don't know because I don't know their contract. It could. I feel like senior guys really wouldn't be doing that. Do you?
maybe their new contract, I think maybe, but and some of those guys work till like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. Which granted,
Well,
I've seen
they also
carriers have too. Like,
they also start at 9, and the key difference is too. They're not loading up their truck. Their truck is
yeah.
loaded up for them.
You know what the problem is with that though? You get a guy who screws up loading your truck, you're having a
Yeah.
bad day.
Yeah. You're screwed. But
By
yeah,
the
I
way,
mean,
real quick side note, what's the latest you've ever been out on the route?
uh, probably like 8:30.
Okay, for me it's 9.
Yeah, no, I never. And it
Literally
was
came back to the office,
season, so
dropped the keys, I went by. It was out by 9:15.
yeah, that's. I mean, that happened around Christmas, right? Peak season. I must have.
No, I think that was a summer.
Really, people.
I did two routes that day. I remember I did
Yeah,
two routes that day.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Were
And
they
that was
like
starting at 7 a.m. too. We had like 12 routes open out of like 20 carriers.
Jesus Christ? Now, was that like? So we'll kind of get into like carrying too. Was that like a walking route? Was it a? And you can kind of explain the
Okay.
different type of routes.
Okay. The first route I did was all mounted. And the one route's cake, but
Yeah,
still,
but
it's still
what's
like
mounted?
okay,
For
mounted
all-
is when all the mailboxes are at the curb. You pretty
Right.
much don't have to get out
Mhm.
unless there's a parcel, something, a certified that somebody at the door's got to sign for,
Right.
or a parcel that somebody's got to sign for. So you technically don't have to get out of your truck
Gotcha.
unless
Yeah.
something like that happens. But yeah, that route I was on was easy still. And I remember there was no mail that day,
Well,
thankfully. So I
yeah.
remember I came in, did that route. The supervisor was like, just take the DPS. She's like, we're not doing any flats. Take the DPS, whatever parcels are ready. Come
Right.
back by 9 a.m. Did that, came back by 9, grabbed the rest of the DPS, the rest of the parcels for that route, finished the route. Then the route I had a hold down on, which was a mix of everything. It was half mounted, half dismounts, a little parking. There were some businesses,
Right.
and I went out. I think I started that route at like 2:45.
Jesus
Yeah, that wasn't a
Christ.
fun day.
That sounds horrible. At least was it warm though? It wasn't raining.
No, no, it was hot. It was like unbearable hot.
No.
It was like South Carolina, middle of July.
Right.
My eyes like were red underneath. It was
Oh, was it
horrible.
up here? I'm sorry. It wasn't like upstate, like New York. No.
No, it was South
Um,
Carolina. New
It
York,
was you were a PTF.
the latest. Yeah, I was a PTF, so I had to do it.
Right.
The latest I ever did New York, I think it was about 8,
Okay.
and that was
That's
during
fair.
Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you noticed now that you're down there? I mean, I think we've all seen a drop off on packages or parcels, as we call it in the
Mm.
biz. Have you noticed, like, is like New York order more stuff or more mail, more packages than the
I've
in
noticed it
Carolina?
depends on the. I feel like the wealth of the route you're on,
Yeah.
because
True.
there
True.
were routes in New York, like my route in New York was a wealthy area,
Hmm.
ton of packages,
Right.
even though it wasn't a lot of deliveries. There are routes down, but then there was routes in New York, which okay, middle lower class didn't get many packages, and
Hmm.
there's routes down here which it's lower class,
Right.
no packages. But then my route, which is middle upper, a lot of packages.
Oh yeah.
I guess they got
See,
that disposable income.
yeah, that's weird because I find in my area it's kind of like yeah, the lower class. I think because of the Timu and the Sheen, it's
Mhm.
so inexpensive. I'm just getting slammed by that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, our Timu was bad for a while, but now I don't think
I
it's
mean, it
slowed
died
down.
off. It's picking up again.
Oh, okay. I got to keep an eye out. And plus, I
Yeah.
don't think it brightly says Timu on the side anymore.
No, you got to look. They're all that. It's that paper. It's like that plastic bag, the white bag. It's so distinct,
Okay, I got to keep an eye out tomorrow when I go in.
and it's just full, and it always spills open. You always got to tape it up. It's always something for that. But But yeah, so city carrier, PTF, CCAs.
You want to go into
Do
the vehicles?
you want to do vehicles now? All right, we can
Yeah,
do
sure.
vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah, this was another thing. Somebody brought up to
The
us.
same person?
No, it's a different person.
Person?
This was different. Okay, the table one, table two was a fan. Okay,
Okay.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you guys. Vehicles was the missus,
Right.
who I guess you can also say is a fan,
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, I know what those vehicles are because you talk about it nonstop,
Right.
but the other people aren't going to know what it is."
It's true. That's because it's so funny you mentioned that because I was telling my wife right before we got on. It's like, oh, me and Don were talking, and some people don't know what the vehicles are, and I was like, not too many people know what an LLV is unless you're in the
Yeah.
post office. And then, obviously she knew exactly what it was
Hmm.
'cause all we do is talk about the post office. I mean, when I went down to see you like last year too, we talked about the post office. We might as well monetize this. And again, any advertisers out there looking, we'll take some free stuff, cash.
We'd be happy to throw out one of your logos in the middle of a pod.
Yeah, I mean,
We do want to do an advertisement for you. Quick read.
yeah, yeah. We'll rub beards. We'll
Yeah.
do whatever we have to.
Any beard oils, we
Yeah,
attest to it.
yeah, for sure, for
Okay,
sure. But yeah,
so
LLV. So you
yeah,
start. That's classic.
okay. LOV is the main one. It's called Long Life Vehicle. They were pretty much all built in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
Hmm.
And those are those classic little square, they're not vans, SUVs, kind of, I want to say.
They look like mini box trucks,
Yeah,
like
they do.
mini box trucks.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. They got the driver on the right side,
Right.
um, classic Eagle logo on the side,
Yeah.
and that's just that's the main truck you'll see for a postal vehicle. No AC.
No.
Because they're so old, they drive like crap now. Once you go
Yeah.
above 30, the steering wheel starts to shake.
Yeah.
They're
That
so hot in
engine
the
is
summer.
whining too. It's
They're
like,
so hot in the summer. But I gotta admit, in the winter, because the engine gets so hot, it's pretty hot in the truck.
it doesn't get. I mean, it depends what kind of route you're doing too. I think we talked about. Oh, so we you talked about mounted routes. There's
Mhm.
also like park and loop routes, which is essentially a lot of carriers, especially in like
Oh,
cities and stuff.
yeah.
You're parking in front of a house. You see them walk. They basically do like a giant U, get back in the truck, move up, and do the same. Some routes are kind of mixed. Like Donnie was saying, you have some
Yeah.
business, and then you have some dismount, which is going just dropping off one house, getting back in the truck, moving it up a little bit, and so forth. So, but yeah, the LLV is the best, I think, for dismount
Mhm.
and for parking loops. And I mean, I think it's the best for all types of delivery, to be honest with you, except for
Yeah, it's
business
probably the best.
stuff,
If it
because it
wasn't
does,
for the no AC, it'd definitely be hands down, not even a
yeah,
competition.
because that fan in there, man, all it does is circulate that
It really,
heat.
and it's so loud and annoying.
It's so
The
loud.
route I was on yesterday was mounted, and it had that annoying fan. All I heard was,
It's funny. I
mm.
was gonna ask you that because when I called you, I could hear you pulling like the back. It's so distinct, like the back.
Oh yeah, the back door is so loud.
It's so loud, man. It's funny. Quick story on that. I remember once I was doing a quick loop. I didn't have any spurs, and spurs are. I don't even know the breakdown. Do you know what SPRs mean?
Nope.
I think it's like small parcels, something. But I didn't have any of them, and I have like a holder for my scanner. So as I'm like, and I had my keys attached to my bag. So I just threw it in and closed it down, locked myself out, had to call a supervisor. It was a whole thing. I was like, but but yeah, LVs I think are the best. There was another one you mentioned, the FFV. Is that
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
I've
FF.
never driven them. I think we talked about it briefly. Do they have those? What do you call them? Those shelves in the back, or some do,
No.
some don't.
Okay, so an FFV real quick is pretty much this. It's a newer version of the LV. By newer, I mean they were built in the year 2000, most of them.
Yeah,
They're
I think
basically they're
any of them.
basically a Ford. Then they were built by Ford. They're basically a Ford Explorer, like shaped a little differently.
Right.
They drive pretty well. The setup in the front is horrible. Like you got no room in the front. You're so tight. Like it's horrible.
Yeah. So basically the same thing as LFA.
Yeah.
And then the newer ones they just introduced are the Metris. They're the Mercedes.
Hmm.
They're also right side drive. I've used that a lot. Have you used them
Never used one.
often? Never use one?
Nope.
All right, so I'll take this segment then. It has a fixed um, tray to your left. It's really tough to manage, especially if you're on a mounted route where you're going left to right, reaching over to your left, going to the right for your mailbox. And it's kind of low, so it really messes with your like hips and your
Mhm.
shoulders. And then package wise, it's basically like a van, but it's like like the floor of it is very like slick.
Mhm.
So when you're stacking packages, if you take a turn too hard, everything's going,
Oh Jesus, yeah.
everything's crashing over. So you got to be really careful setting up the back of it. It is a smooth ride. It's quick. Um, I think it's best for like parking loops.
Hmm.
It does have AC. It has radio. It's Bluetooth. So if you're on a mountain route, you hook up this podcast. You listen to it while you're delivering. We don't recommend earphones, headphones
No,
because they're
no
really
earbuds, guys. Safety first.
safety is priority. Like my supervisor always tell me, you want to leave here, leave work how you got to work, safe and sound. With all your body parts. So that's the mattress in a nutshell. And then I think the last is the ProMaster the
Okay.
last one,
Yeah, I
and
think.
we both drive that now, right?
And yeah, so the ProMaster is pretty much just a giant van. Not just the post office has them. You'll see them driving around too sometimes. Like sometimes construction workers use them.
Hmm.
Um, I've seen like power washers have them.
Yeah,
They're pretty much it's a Dodge Ram ProMaster. Drives pretty
yeah.
well. AC. Uh, you know it's going to start up when you get in. The only issue is there's a weird side step getting in. And you have to be really
Hmm.
careful because if you miss that step, you're going face first into the ground.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That thing, and it has this giant sliding door. I don't know about you, but if
Uh,
I don't slam it shut and I go to start the vehicle, it'll say
yeah,
door is ajar or door open, and I have to turn off the vehicle because you can't have your vehicle running if you're
yeah,
not in the seat. That is an automatic removal. Just throwing it out there for
yeah.
my
Mine, you got to
fellow
slam.
carriers out there.
I
Yeah,
think.
so you gotta slam that thing, and your shoulder after the other
Yeah,
day is killing.
you're getting sore. You're sore the
Yeah,
next day.
but I got the newer one too. So it's push start, which is awesome,
Oh, I don't have it. Mine's from
and
15.
and the handbrake is you just pull a little button.
Oh, you got a fancy one.
Yeah, it's like 2024. I mean, thank God I got it in before they were doing those Doge people came in and started cutting budgets.
For you in the middle of
Allegedly, allegedly.
allegedly middle of the round, you're gonna come back from a loop. I was like, really, where's my? And the mail's just gonna be on the ground. You can walk.
That'd be a note like Elon Musk says you better carry this on
You
your
should
back.
replace with a Tesla.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, so that's pretty much all. So there's about four vehicles, and it's crazy to think that I mean the ProMaster is pretty new to us. Same with the Metris. That's all been in the past like 5 years, I would say,
Hmm.
give or take.
Yeah.
And the LLV was pretty much there. I mean, they do have like minivans though. That at some
Yeah. Oh,
offices,
I forgot about they got like some places have like the Ford Windstar minivans.
yeah, or like the Dodge like Caravan and stuff like that.
It's pretty much just a minivan. It's
Yeah,
nothing thrills. No, no,
minivan with a cage and no
yeah,
seats in the back.
exactly.
So yeah, and then if supervisors are like out, delivering or if they have to, or rural guys, you'll see
Hmm.
like stickers on side of Jeeps that say, postal service.
Yeah, that's
But
wild.
those are
Like 2 years ago,
what's that?
I didn't learn about that. That some rural carriers will use their own vehicle.
Yeah, dude. I
Like,
mean, I think they get paid for it,
yeah, they do get paid for it.
mileage, but I mean, that's a car. I could barely afford it, like the upkeep on
Yeah.
my car. So yeah, that's about it for the postal vehicles. I'm gonna say, I think we're good on that. I don't want to go too deep. I'm already about a half
It's
hour
really-
in.
Yeah, I know. There's so much for a mini episode.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you guys got lucky,
Yeah.
Once we start the Patreon, we're gonna start charging. It'll be $5 a month. But yeah, we'll do a little sneak peek or sneak preview of this Sunday or Monday.
Air
And
Monday.
again, I'm gonna try and throw up like pictures of the postal trucks, if possible, in this episode. Can't
Mhm.
guarantee it, and it probably won't happen. So I don't even know why I'm saying it. But just just for me, future reference, we're gonna try and get this going. But yeah, what do we got going on next episode, Don?
Okay, so we got a carrier walking off the job, walking back into the job. Apparently, this
Yep,
isn't
that's
my
me.
story. This is Omar's.
Yeah.
And also, I heard it was well, not heard. I saw the article, which we'll talk about in Durham. I think it was Durham, North Carolina. It was
Yeah, like
raining
I
on the
40,
highway. Huh?
I 40 or something, Interstate 40. I think I read it. I
I
can't
think it was
remember off
North
the top.
Carolina. Could be wrong. We're gonna have it, but yeah, apparently it was raining mail on the highway there.
Yeah, that's insane. That
Yeah,
is, I mean, but you got a nice little tagline for that. I don't want to spoil that. That's a hot line too. So yeah, and also with the girl walking out, I got another one about somebody else. Um, I'm
you
just
got another
cat.
one?
I got another. It's a short little
Oh,
story. I call it Driving Miss Daisy. I want to get your opinion on it, but I think it's pretty funny. And I want to say that's about it. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns,
and you
any
want to
show
talk about?
ideas, I'm gonna throw our email in the bottom of the description on YouTube. But if you're just watching, well, the only way you can watch is YouTube because that's the only way I know how to upload this. So
We're working on this.
yeah, we're working on stuff. We both got families and we both work too much. It's going to be Goin Post, so GoinPost, and then WDONO. So Goin Post W Don O at gmail.com. Again, I'm going to try and put it in the description. Can't guarantee that'll happen. Just pause and rewind this a few
Also,
times
you
if
can
you have.
comment on the video. Say, hey, what about this? And we'll make sure to shout you out.
Yeah, yeah, you guys want
So
to shout out? As long as it's not
talk about it.
derogatory, nothing
Now that
crazy.
being said, too, there's a ton of comments. We can't go through everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Our 20 views, man. I mean, we're like,
we don't have an
it's
assistant yet.
yeah, not yet. I don't think we ever will. I think it's just too much. But yeah, that about does it for our mini episode, which is just 10 minutes shy of our normal episodes. So we'll try not to keep you guys too long next time, and
Yeah,
we'll see you guys on Sunday or Monday whenever we decide to upload this.
absolutely.
All right, Don, what we
All
got?
right. See you. See you guys.
No, no. What's the tagline?
Oh, just remember, guys, these aren't setbacks. These are opportunities.
Yeah, buddy. All right, Don. Have a good night.
See ya.
Later.